Hello everyone and welcome to our video today discussing online passport renewal scams. It may be tempting to believe that the victims of this scam are only those people unfamiliar with how the U.S. passport application and renewal processes work. In other words, first-time passport applicants. However, in today's world, scammers are able to make their fake websites look very professional and very similar to the official passport website from the government, all the way down to a very convincing URL. We will discuss how this scam works, and I have some tips to avoid falling prey to it. Our info today comes from both the FTC and the BBB, and the links to learn more are available at the bottom of the video's description. So let's get started. So how does this scam work? It begins, of course, with someone wanting to travel internationally. This person may need to apply for a passport if they've never had one. They may need to apply for a new passport if their old one has expired beyond the range of a renewal, or they may have a recently expired passport and just need to renew their old one. U.S. citizens are now able to apply for or renew their passports online with the U.S. Department of State if they meet the online renewal requirements. And if not, you can still renew your passport by mail. In the past, everything had to be done in person or by mail, the old school way. Most people view doing it online as easier and more convenient and perhaps a little faster, but unfortunately, the risk for scammers infiltrating the process is higher. Knowing how the process is supposed to work will help prevent you from getting scammed. Okay, so where does the scam come in? A passport application or renewal form is free to download from the government's website. But scammers are tricking U.S. citizens into paying a fee to fill out that renewal form. Let me be clear, you still have to pay the government to receive your passport, but these scammers are charging unwary victims into paying additionally to fill out a form that you can fill out for free yourself. According to the BBB, as a result, consumers may be tricked into providing their personal and financial information on potentially unsecure websites run by scammers. So say you need to apply for or renew your passport. What's your first step? Well, for most people, you do a Google search online. The top results may show some official-looking websites that say they can renew or get you a passport. Some of these websites are private companies that charge you for services that are free on the U.S. Department of State website, and others are scammers trying to take your money and personal information. Travel.state.gov is the official government website for passport services. According to the FTC, some companies that are registered with the U.S. Department of State will charge extra fees to submit your application and pick up your passport for you if you're busy or if you need help doing it. But keep in mind, if you use these companies, you won't get your passport faster than if you applied on your own without the extra cost. But the FTC says scammers also set up sites with similar names, flags, and seals, pretending to be affiliated with the government. For $60 up to $100, on top of the regular passport fee, they promise to help you get a passport. But if you pay them, you'll lose your money and might be giving your info to scammers who could sell it to identity thieves. The BBB describes the following. If you find yourself on one of these scammy websites, the site will provide you with forms you need to fill out. Forms that ask for your social security number, home address, birth date, and much more. After completing the form, you'll be asked to pay a processing fee or an application fee. You're then informed that you'll receive your completed form that you could have filled out for yourself for free as a PDF in an email confirmation. When you receive your confirmation with your completed PDF form, you are then told that you still need to pay money for the actual renewal of your passport. So how do you avoid falling for this scam? The FTC provides the following tips. Tip number 1, as we mentioned before, the U.S. Department of State is the government agency that handles passport services. Your best bet is to visit travel.state.gov directly to avoid getting onto a scammy website. That's travel.state.gov. Tip number 2. You do have to pay the government to get a passport, but you do not need to pay to fill out the forms. You only need to provide a payment to submit your renewal or application. Take note, there is also an additional fee from the Department of State if you need your passport process expedited in order to receive it earlier. And tip number 3 from the FTC, it is free to set up an appointment if you need a passport to travel right away. The Department of State's passport agencies and centers don't charge for appointments, and paying someone to set it up for you won't get you your passport any faster. In addition, the BBB offers these tips. Tip number 1, give yourself plenty of time when renewing your passport. Giving yourself extra time can reduce your likelihood of searching for quicker options, some of which could be scams. Processing times for passport renewal or application can change often, and please consider the shipping time between you and the passport agency. Tip number 2, confirm the website's URL before providing any sensitive information. It can be easy to click on a sponsored ad or an imposter website without noticing. Make sure that if you're supposed to be interacting with a government agency, the website should end with .gov, not .com, .org, or .anything else. Read closely, as scammers can trick you into thinking URLs look legit when they aren't. Any extra letters, symbols, or anything that feels a little off about a website or URL should be considered a red flag. And tip number 3, be wary of third-party websites. There are legitimate passport assistance services, but the BBB recommends checking with bbb.org as well as the BBB Scam Tracker first to make sure you're not sharing your info with a scammer. I'll link the BBB Scam Tracker below the video as well. Okay, thanks for watching.